Hmm. Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sharina Valley. If this is your first time here, welcome back if you've been here before. Whew, what brings me here today? What brings me here today? Something that I thought I had put to bed, okay? I wasn't going to do commentary on after my last, I think I did a couple, maybe 3 videos, if I'm not mistaken, on the subject matter, which would be Dr. Umar Johnson, okay? We're just going to let him have that title. We're going to give him that handle, okay? Because that's what he refers to himself as. So we're going to respectfully give him that handle, okay? Even though we have questions about it, well, I have questions about it. Because I'm like, a doctor in what again? Okay. That's not my problem. That's not my issue. What is my issue is how some people can't understand that if it's quacking like something, it's wagging like something, it's hoopity hopping in the waters and bumping around in the water like something, that something is something called, could it be a duck? Could it be a duck? If it's quacking and whacking and looking like, what else we gonna call it? Anywho, guys, I'm not understanding a whole lot. I'm not understanding a whole lot because, oh, I don't believe that Dr. Umar is grasping the monumental thing he did. And it's not just about monetary. It's not, you just, I don't believe he understood. Or maybe he just didn't care. Who's to say? I'm not in that man's head. But I can see some of the actions, which tells me a lot about what I need to know about Dr. Umar Johnson. Because he's still out here doing interviews, talking about this stuff. Listen, I don't understand. Let me back up a little bit. I do understand how certain segments of people can look at the so-called black man, and because they have an agenda, so they trying to stick to the script. But I don't understand is how people who have maybe a large following, I think he has a large following on social media, can come outright, and do the very thing that these other segment of people are doing. Sticking it to the so-called black man because they figured the so-called black man elevation in thinking is just way down here. So let me just get my piece of the pie. Let me get me a slice. Everybody else is getting in. Let me get in. The taking is good. Let me get. And that's such a wrong attitude to have. Listen, it's a lot of people out here doing a lot of commentary on Umar Johnson. More power to you. I'm not criticizing. There's support in his corner. I'm not in any kind of corner, really, if I would say so myself. I'm looking at what makes sense and what's feeling like is closer to truth. That's what I'm looking at, you know. I'm not, I'm a fan of the underdog. I am. I champion them. I wish that they would rise above and just, you know, come on forward and let their light shine. And, you know, I'm all for the underdog. I truly am. But I'm not going to do is sit up here and bury my head in the sand along with whomever else would like to do that. I can't do that. You know, I just can't. Okay, some people might say, you know, well, she trying to keep it real. And they will be right, because I'm trying to keep it just that way, keeping it real, you know, because I'm looking and I'm listening to these interviews that Dr. Umar, and it's like he's going from bad to worse. He's going from bad to worse. He's going from bad to worse because he don't understand that a lot of his people, his melanated people, a lot of them have a brain. And a lot of them can put one and one together, and guess what they come up with, guys? Not 17, they come up with 2. Put one and one together, and they come up with 2. It's a lot of people out here who are not in the dark ages. Just not. Just not. But it's sad to me how some of us can think to themselves, how can I get my piece of pie in the sky? How can I, let me see. Oh, go in over there and mess with the brothers. They ain't got a whole lot going on up in the upper department, and talking about the mind. Okay, so let's go over there and let's finazzle and let's trick and let's get and let's do and let's got so we can get gone. And they helped you, Dr. Umar. A lot of people who you know, a lot of people who you like, power and all that, they was riding for you. Because in their mind, they thought you was going to do this great thing for the little black boys. Not understanding the buffoonery and the trickery. Because you're not going to right away. You know, people, you know, sometimes people come and they come in a slick fashion. You know what I mean? You can't tell. You can't put your finger on that pulse because they got them words and they know how to string them along. And they doing, you know, X, Y, and Z. Oh, he's putting up a photo of a school. And so it must be something happening. But those people blinked. They blinked. They probably blinked, some of them more than once. And they eventually their eyes just opened because they could see the writing on the wall. Now, see, you like to talk, Dr. Umar Johnson. You like to talk. And I believe you done convinced yourself you are a grand talker. Yeah, you will probably string some words together. I don't understand all the psychology behind all of that repetition and all of that. To me, it makes somebody seem like they is really trying to hide something. Or, I mean, I understand a little of the psychology behind it, you know, because the repetitious thing. I'm with the repetitious thing because that's how I learned. And I guess you figure if you kept repeating, this is how people was going to understand what you was out here, what your cause was all about through the repetition. But that's neither here nor there. But what I don't understand, which I should in all the over 60 years I've been in this form, I don't understand. But then, yes, I do too. Yes, I do too. Because it's a thing called greed. It's a thing called greed. And it's a thing called laziness. But those two things don't mix. They don't mix and match, you know. It's And let me just say why I say that it don't matter. Because if you run around being lazy, don't want to do the work that it takes, then how do you ever expect to get what you're trying to get? And I'm not calling you lazy. I'm not calling you lazy. I'm just saying you're lazy because you're just lazy in the mental because you couldn't think of anything other than let's go bamboozle some black folk. And to me, that's lazy. That's lazy. That's not, because you were given donations. And instead of you saying, oops, I fumbled the ball, I fumbled the bag, you're coming out here with these interviews, adding insult to injury. You still want these people to believe a certain thing when actually the proof is in the pudding. The writing is on the wall. And if anybody missing it, it's because they choose to. They just want to go ahead and continue giving you the benefit of the doubt. But see, my thing is, if you collected over $1 million, it's no way that you should be in no arrears coming back asking for more donations. I mean, you was given money. You weren't a good steward of what you was given, but now you want to come and you want to ask for more so you can be an even lousier steward to those dollars. And I'm going to just say this. I'm not going to be here long. You need to stop. You need to stop, Dr. Umar Johnson, and think to yourself, I'm going to clean up what I messed up, starting this thing over again. Well, I don't know how much success is going to be because now people are going to be looking at you with the cross eyes. And rightfully so. Because you took their money, their donation dollars, and you misused and abused those dollars. Because why wouldn't you? If you collected over $1 million from donors, why wouldn't you? In your school costs, what? Let's just say we're going to give you a little bit of grace now. Let's just say the school costs $500K. Let's just say that. Even if the school costs $500K for you to purchase, you still had a whole lot of chunk of change to get whatever kind of fees that was attached, whatever you need, to pay the water, pay for repairs, and the more you went along doing the right thing, the more dollars you probably could have got coming back to you in terms of donations. People wouldn't have mind continue. Like if you had been doing right with the dollars from the get, then you wouldn't have had no problem with people being in your corner because they would see that you're out here on the real tip. You're trying to do what you said you was trying to do. And then in that case, people don't mind. But I don't understand how it is, though. People get this thing. And so people in my own community, we get this thing so twisted because we think that, okay, because other, groups of people have been doing what they've been doing as it relates to the so-called black man, then you have the so-called black man getting the idea, well, if that segment of people can do it, well, so can I. And it's wrong. It's wrong. That should not be the case. You shouldn't be out here swindling people out of their last whatever. You should not be doing it because it's not right. And you know fully well that you're not going to do with those dollars what you are telling people, because if you were going to be doing that, $1 million plus, surely you would have had a lot of those things accomplished. But because you got these liens and gleans and all these other things hanging around, something in the daggone fountain is funky. Something in the fountain is funky. Let me repeat. Something in the fountain is funky. You've not done what you professed that you were going to do with those dollars, but didn't have the audacity to keep on thinking that people was going to continue to be naive, simple, just, freely give and freely give. And when you are not a good steward over what you had from the get-go, jumping from continent to continent, from place to place, and going every which way instead of being here focusing on the task at hand. You got that money so you can build up a school. Those dollars should have been for that and that alone. Not you flipping and flopping, going all over here, there. Now that could have came in another period of this stage of you putting this thing together, this school together. That could have came, because I know you got a network and stuff. You got to get, other people involved or whatever. And I understand that. But no, you was doing this on the enjoyment of for your own enjoyment. You weren't doing this going around different countries, doing speaking engagement and what you do. Well, your words, not mine. Your words, not mine. You were going around doing this, probably charging them people, and you still couldn't get it right. So the thing that I came to say, please, people, please, not everybody in these melanin bodies are stupid. They're just not. Some of us have a thinking cap. And some of us, whether it's evident to you or not, we're using it. We're using it. And people, listen, you can't keep putting your hand in the cookie jar. Oh, nope, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Nope, I don't know who. Somebody was from around the corner came and did something. All I did was blink, and they was the hand, and, the money was gone. No, that's a bunch of hogwash, baby. You need to just do better. And stop thinking about bamboozling the melanated people. Stop it. I understand. You see a lot of people, how they doing melanated people. So I guess you wanted to jump on the bandwagon too. But for shame on you. For shame on you. Because Most High, and I ain't talking about the gods that a whole lot of other people. I'm talking about the creator of the universe. He sees all. She sees all. And you're going to have to give an account. You're going to have to give an account. Because it's sad. I don't know why people can't check themselves before they wreck themselves. Because when you got that first, 100K from donations, you should have put it in your mind right then and there. I'm going to be a good steward over this. People entrusted me to do what's right with these funds. And but no, that's not where your head was at. You wanted to go out and be all, look at me, I'm the king. Look at me, I'm the king. I got everything. All you're going to have, baby, is a soft backside. Because you didn't make your bed up properly, sugar. You didn't make it up properly. Make your bed hard, baby. You're going to lay in it. That's what I grew up on. You make it hard, you're going to lay in it. You out here, you ought to stop running around trying to prove your innocence, especially when you know there's no innocence to be proven. Because people with their thinking caps on, They can put 1 and 1 together, and guess what they come up with? They come up with the 2. They don't come up with the 1750, okay? They come up with the 2. And you can't get mad with people because they are thinking. You can't be mad with people. See, that's what you was probably hoping. Well, not just you, a lot of other people hoping that we just cannot get this gray matter together. We just out here walking around like robots, just mindlessly moving around, waiting on somebody to come and say, peow, 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 peow. You need to do better. You need to do better and stop going on to these interviews making a bad situation worse. Because there's no way. There's no way, because you tell a lot of truth in the lies you tell. I don't even know if you're gathering that info up. Because what you're saying, oh yeah, you done did a whole lot of untruths. You done told a lot of untruths, baby. You have. And all people have to do is connect the dots. And see, that's what you got to stop underestimating people and thinking that everybody's going to come up on the side that you put them. Because you think that, okay, let me go after these people with these small little brains. Let me get, They're going to wake up and they're going to figure out just what you done did. And you can't get mad with them, Dr. Umar, because this is the making of your own. Something you did. Okay? Something you did. Because you just going from bad to worse. I wish you would just get somebody to analyze these interviews and seeing how you are sinking lower and lower and lower. And people are catching the things that you're saying versus the things that you have said and the things that you actually done. And people are putting it together and they figuring out that it's just a whole bunch of flies in this ointment. It's a lot of them. And dead flies that people are just able to understand. Now listen, I'm all for underdogging, okay? Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem. I love her. Listen, but I also love the truth. First and foremost. I love an underdog story. I do. I'm a champion of them too. I love them. But guess what? This old gal here loved more than anything. The truth and nothing but. So you got to stop making things go from bad to worse, because that's what you're doing. You're going up here on these interviews, and baby, that's not helping your plight. It's not helping your plight at all. It's just making you look even more suspect in acting the way that you acting and saying the things that you're saying, and it's not adding up. It's not coming together. It's not adding up. So why don't you just do this? Just admit that you messed up. Just admit that just come clean and admit that you made an error. You messed up. You got the big head, You is almost a lion, August. So you got the big head. And you got, carried away with some stuff. Just come clean. It's a lot of people who will support that. I messed up. And now it's time for me to fix it up. Let me come clean and let me stop trying to gaslight people, trying to, keep going in, making a bad situation worse. Just come clean, Dr. Umar. Just come clean. And stop trying to, my sister used to have a saying, you trying to make me think me crazy. You trying to make me think me crazy. No. I smell you. I see you. And I understand what your little end game is. Just come clean. Do it for yourself. You don't have to do it for anybody else. Not me, but do it for yourself. And you will have so much lightness moving forward in your being. I don't know how long it's going to take for people to be able to trust you again, but you got to earn it. Trust is not just so freely given away. It has to be earned, especially if you done made a blunder. Now listen, we are people who can forgive and forget. But you got to come clean and stop trying to make one round thing go into a square thing and then keep trying to make people think that, oh no, it's not that thing, it's you. You're not applying the right, you can't do stuff like that. And you got to understand that not everybody is working on one cylinder or 3 or 4, Some people have a full deck. And if they were generous to you because they wanted to, be in that number where they can uplift, they saw themselves uplifting a brother to do a good deed because he had the right thoughts. So they were trying to uplift the brother. But you can't go and just smack him in the face with all kind of madness. It just shouldn't be done. You should just try to come clean, confess your, shortcomings. We'll put it like that. Your shortcomings in this situation. Just, say you made a mistake. Because sometimes, listen, I understand. People, they want to make it appear to be that they are, because they know how certain segments of people look at the so-called black man. And sometimes you just don't want to be in that space. You want to be looked at like you are this giant, which you truly are. But you got to direct your energy in the right way. Okay, you have to put it in the right content. And you got to do right by people. Do your people no harm, Because once you, and it might take time for people to come back to your corner, some people. Some people want to stay with you, and that's cool if that's what they want to do. But there's a lot of other people who may be feeling a little, let down, bamboozled. Their feelings were hurt. So you just got to give them a little bit more time. But one thing about us is we can be very forgiving people. We can. But you got to come clean, though. You got to say, listen here, my brothers and my sisters, I messed up. I messed up royally. And you got to be honest and truthful in your delivery, because we can sniff it on out. We can smell a whole lot of mess. We can smell it. Now, the reason why they didn't smell it the first time you started collecting it, because they wanted to see you succeed. They wanted to see. They just went in blindly by faith. Let him go. Let me give him my little $2,500. Because he's talking a good game, but then you let a lot of people down. You let a lot of people down. So if you come back with honesty. And another thing, Dr. Umar Johnson. Well, I'll save that maybe for another video, perhaps, if I can remember. Because I wasn't going to do this video. I just wasn't. Because I thought my days about talking about you were over. But then you keep going on these interviews, and I keep hearing little snippets of things. And I'm like, it's not making no sense. Why don't he understand it's not making no sense? Because all the money that you collected, you had enough money in the kitty to do what needed to be done, and you fumbled the bag. You just fumbled it. You fumbled. You got lackadaisy with it. You just like, okay, well, I got this money. Let me go over here across the ocean, or let me go over here to a new kind of island. You fumbled the bag. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank y'all for watching. I didn't mean for this to go on for 30 minutes, but I can talk a little bit. I can, because I mean, things always come into mind, and I'm like, oh God. And I'm sorry if it seemed like some things don't go with other things, but I don't have a script, okay? So it just, it comes out when it goes in. It comes out when it goes in. So it comes out when it goes in. And sometimes that means it seems like it's just jambling. But hopefully y'all would have understood what it was I was trying to say. Just do right, Dr. Umar Johnson. Do right. Do right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget, if you've not subscribed to Sharina Belly, please consider doing so, okay? Y'all take care. Thanks for watching.